always say like right before, and then I have to do another take, and
It's okay.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I'm a big
It's tough.
Yeah. Right after I graduated, I recorded myself talking on my phone, and then I hated it.
Yeah.
Because I said like every other sentence.
Dude. It's the worst part of, like, editing your own voice, too.
Uh-huh.
But, honestly, we can just use that as the intro. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Welcome to episode 8 of PonderCast by PonderMedia. I'm your host. You know who it is. This is the 8th episode. Come on now. And we are here with Annika Roe. How are you doing, Annika?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Mm-hmm.
But could you say a little bit about your many ventures? How would you describe your art? Because there's a lot of different avenues.
It mutates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've always really liked to be creative and draw and everything like that. But as like time went on and I kind of had to try and pick a career to like move forward and make money, I kind of thought like graphic design was like a good middle ground, because I'm like, you can make money from that. It's like kind of corporate.
Yeah.
Turns out it's really hard to get a job in graphic design. But
is it like a saturated field?
Oh yeah, everybody wants that. And then like I bought the Creative Suite on my computer. And so after I did that, I was like, okay, I really got to utilize this, because that's a lot of money.
You're talking about the Adobe Suite?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I'm like, I want to use each and everything on this and like learn it and like figure out that stuff. And throughout like my time at Hamlin, I could get it for free. Yeah, we're both. We never talked.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've met.
Yeah, it is.
Sweet. Well, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. And then I took lots of graphic design classes, and then I could have the Adobe Suite for free. But then once I graduated, I needed to buy it. And then I was like, okay, you better learn everything in here. I already really liked to make logos on Illustrator, and then just like text layout stuff on InDesign. But then I kind of started to get into like Photoshop and then Premiere Pro.
Cool.
Yeah, Premiere Pro's, it's fun though.
It's fun. It killed my last laptop. I had a MacBook Air, and I got it for a Hamlin class. And Premiere killed my laptop.
I'm worried about that, because it makes it so slow.
Computer screaming every time I open it.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah. So then along with like graphic design and illustrating, I also like to, in a lot of my art stuff lately, I've been doing digital art, and I have, what's that, Procreate on the iPad. Okay. I love that. And that's what I've been, like, kind of mostly using for animation.
Sick, okay.
Yeah, there's an animation assist, which is really fun. And then, so I kind of have just been kind of, like, combining all of those now. And then, I, like, liked writing for, like, a while, and I've kind of kept up on that, and then kind of just keep combining everything.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. As we're getting into it, I want to shout out your art account. Is it Squeege? Is that the proper...
Squeege.
Squeege. Squeege underscore cares underscore. What does Squeege care about?
She cares too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super fair. Super fair. A lot of your stuff on there there's kind of a noticeable point where it goes from a lot of digital art into a lot of, like, I don't know, hand art? Like drawing.
Hand art.
I don't know. But also a lot of, like, interplay between visuals and words. To kind of focus on one of those 2 points. I made 2 points without forming a question. But for getting into digital art, what kind of inspired you to get, like, super heavy into it besides the programs? It's like, That's a
It's
pretty
the
distinct
career.
gap. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Word.
Because I'm like, if I learn this stuff, like, it'll be applicable, like, for commercial things, or, like, I don't know. Once you start, like, learning the programs, it's like you become, like, I don't know, like, more, like, useful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what, like, drove me to be like, okay, I'm gonna get really into this. And it was definitely, like, a few graphic design classes, too, that I took in, at Hamlin.
Mm-hmm. Sick. Do you still, like, when you're making a digital art piece, do you ever, like, sketch it out beforehand by hand, or do you just, like, go in and see what comes out?
I should do that.
Or,
I should do that more. When I do that stuff, it turns out better. But a lot of my stuff, like, should have more planning. Really, it doesn't.
it's art. You kind of just do it.
Just throw it together.
Yeah.
Play around with it. I go back a lot, actually.
Word.
So, like, I'll make something, I won't have a plan, and then I'll be like, you know what, it'd be so much cooler if, like, this was like that.
Yeah.
Or, like, yeah.
How long do things tend to, like, live in some form before you add on or change them to complete them?
Too much time.
Word.
I think,
Yeah.
it's really hard to have, like, a work-life balance to, like, be able to do the stuff that you like to do, and then, like, work 8 hours every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like, the thing that definitely keeps me back from creating the most art is, like, working.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, in the spring this year, I worked at this, like, small, agency. It sucked. I hated them.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Not shout out.
Yeah,
to the
not shout. I'm not
agency.
even gonna say anything. But the like people would have me doing projects that were like they give me like a million things to do, and then they'd be like, "You gotta do it by the end of the day today." Like I was like the one of the only graphic designers,
Word,
and then I
okay.
got so drained. So then it was like even outside of work, it was like I don't want to do this.
You've done your art for the day.
Yeah, I've used my creative for the day. Yeah.
When you're doing professional projects, how creative do you tend to, like, allow yourself to be? Like, how strictly do you have to follow certain guidelines when there's, like, a contract in place for something?
Pretty strong.
Word.
It's pretty strong. The stuff that I would have, like, the most creative freedom on would be, like, if I was making an infographic.
Word, okay.
Yeah. But you'd always have to, like, stick to their brand colors, or, you'd have to include the logos and stuff in there. Sometimes they're really ugly, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of the, like, companies I was doing stuff for were, like, low-key, like, really Republican.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why it was, like, I got an opportunity, and I was like, I should just take it, because then, like, I'll be able to do something later. But, I quit.
Yeah. They have you making, like, propaganda?
They weren't making, like, propaganda. It was, like, so, like, one of the things that I had to do was, it was, like, this campaign for, like, oh, we don't want electric cars.
Okay. Interesting.
And then, there was, like, another one, and then I had to, like, make a website for, like, this one sort of, like prostate sampling thing called Triopsy.
Word, okay.
It was just, like, a bunch of, like, I was working with a bunch of, like, old white men. So, like, that was
awesome.
the vibe.
That's always a great workways vibe.
Yeah.
With a ton of old white dudes talking about prostate exams.
Yeah, I was like, why do I even want to work
tools.
here?
Damn.
Yeah.
What was, like, between those two, which would you say had the worst vibe?
Which one?
The Republican function and the prostate guys.
I don't know.
Which one was more bearable, do you think?
Probably, like, I don't know. I just remember, like, I got in trouble for for the triopsy thing, I got in trouble, and then right after it, I ended up just, like, leaving, because I was, like, I had a friend that worked there before me.
Okay.
She kind of got me in the door, and
Word.
then she left, and I was like, I can't do this without you.
Yeah. Yeah. When the homie quits, it's so easy to quit.
I know, I was like, man,
easy.
fuck you guys.
Leaving my childcare job, I was in a string of quitters.
Really?
At that time.
A string of quitters.
When you see people go, it's like, damn.
When it rains, it
I
pours.
could walk out the door.
Yeah, I could do that.
I could go knock them back. That shit is so easy.
Uh-huh.
Kind of moving into the writing part.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, like, more freedom in writing stuff? Do you ever, like, write copy for people as part of the designs? Or, like, when you're doing an infographic, is it all stuff that's pre-written that you just have to...
Most of the times it was just, like, copy-paste pre-written stuff. But,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a website, and it was for these, like, frontline workers, some of which included cops.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get the vibe. Yeah. And then I had to make, like, quotes and copy for the website. But, like, I was, like, pretending to be people, like, writing on the website and, like, doing quotes. And technically that's legal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Going undercover Republican?
No. It was, like, I had to, like, be like, ever since I was, like, a young kid, like, I wanted to be an EMT. Like, something like that. Like, I wasn't gonna, like...
A little less charged.
Yes,
but,
yeah. Mm-hmm. But then there was, like, I had to make or mock up, like, a fake events page.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wrote in it, like, these... I was trying to, like, come up with, like, silly names for them. Mm-hmm. And one of them was, like, Protect and Swerve.
That's kind of tough, honestly.
I know. And it was, like, raising for, like, money for, like, vehicles for frontline workers is what I put, like, Protect and Swerve.
You got a brand new Dodge Charger for 12.
Yeah.
Sick.
And then I got on this call with, like, the lady who was, like, kind of in charge of this. And apparently her dad was a cop who, like, died in a car crash. And so, like...
Yo.
This was something I did not know before.
Damn.
I was like, I'm fired.
Like, what can you do? Also, like, I feel like that's a job where, like, people do die, but I feel like there are probably other things that kill more cops than car accidents.
Yeah, come on. Protect and Swerve is funny.
Like, it's a good bit.
Yeah.
Sorry about your relative, but it's a good bit, though.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you handle the, like, side of it where you have to make art for causes that are, I guess, unique?
I don't know. You have to, like, just know that it's a job.
Mm-hmm. Is it limiting at all to, like, try to be creative in the constraints of a certain culture or, like, a certain message that the art is supposed to send?
Yeah. Like, who wants to, like, create Republican art? I'm just
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure there is people out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a couple Republicans who are great artists.
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah.
I don't want to overestimate this population's existence, but...
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
I'm still thinking about swerving, or Protect and
Swerve.
God damn.
I got in trouble for that.
Well, into less constricting work, a lot of the stuff on your art account has, like, short phrases or just, like, a little thing. But also, like, on your website, there's much more longer form stuff, particularly the orangutan story, if you would like to discuss that at all.
Yeah.
But what's your kind of, like, experience with writing and, like, how do you get that creative part out?
Well, I kind of always liked my, like, language arts classes as a kid, and I was, like teacher's pet.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In those classes. And, I don't know. I just liked I used to journal too. I had a diary. Like, I don't know.
That's real?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's nice.
I look back on those too now.
Ooh.
It's funny though. Sometimes I
can't.
just read them.
Damn. That's brave.
Yeah.
I know that's like what you're supposed to do with journaling.
It's like time traveling.
Oh.
Journaling is literally time travel.
I get the guts like once a year.
To look
like,
back at it.
What if I read this from like winter 2020? And that's like,
Oh.
I can only take that so much.
Mine are from 2013.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. Long-term writing.
Uh-huh.
How does that kind of, the language of journaling, where it's like, well, I guess a better intro question, when you're journaling, what like perspective are you writing from?
Oh, my own. It's always just, I can't, like, I have a really hard time trying to, like, write from somebody who's, like, not me, because I feel like a lot of times, like, it doesn't seem real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's gotta be, like, my own perspective, otherwise it seems like, on some weird level to me, like, superficial, or, like, I don't know, it seems fake. It's gotta be, like, there's some of me in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, yeah, I don't know. I've tried, or my freshman year of, like, high school, I tried to, like, write a book from, like, this someone else's perspective. And, like, I look back at that now, and then I'm like, ooh, yikes.
Yeah. Well, also, like, freshman year of high school, like...
You're a baby.
Yeah.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But, yeah. I don't know, what was the question?
That's a really good question. Doing, like, short form writing with a picture, how do the words and the image come together when you're joining, like, a visual piece and a written piece into the same thing? I notably want to shout out a specific post of yours from June 12th, 2020. It looks like two people kind of splitting from one, and above that, in very small letters, is written, "She a freak." And I really liked that one.
Wait, which one is that?
I don't know, it's from June 12th, 2020. I don't know, it's like in pen. It looks like it's on, like, notebook paper.
I draw all the time. Like, I'll be, like, doodling on... I was one of the kids, like, whose paper would be, like, covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, like, the quiet kid in class who, like, sat in the back and just, like, drew all over everything. And then I'm left-handed, too. So then I would always drag my hand across the paper when I was writing, and then I'd just have, like, ink.
The schmear.
It would get, like, on my... I don't know.
Yeah.
Messy.
Yeah.
But, I really don't know what... Like, sometimes it's just, like... It just comes to me. And I'm like, I gotta, like, draw it. I'm like, this would be so weird if this was like that or something.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say? She a freak.
She a freak.
It summarizes the image.
Yeah, she a freak.
She a freak. But which do you tend to do first? Like, is it ever a drawing inspired by the written part, or is it more so vice versa?
It's I write first, and then I think about what I'm gonna draw along with that, and I'm like, how can I make it like kind of fit with what's there, but like not be obvious, you know? Like, I kind of want it like someone to kind of be able to piece together how they fit, but not have it be like obvious.
Yeah.
You know?
Let people draw their own association a little bit. Sweet. I noticed a lot of your earlier stuff on the account specifically. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Are you a people artist, would you say?
Yeah.
Word.
I draw organics.
Word.
Yeah, like I can't draw like a living thing.
Okay.
I could draw, but like a lot of times when it comes to something that's like a house.
Yeah.
How do you draw?
Something more rigid.
Yeah. Drawing something rigid is really difficult for me. But then like being able to like draw like a person or like an animal, flowers, trees, like I feel like I can do that.
Sick.
Yeah.
A little more forgiving and, like...
It is, because it's not
Yeah.
perfect. And then I
Yeah.
feel like buildings have to have these, like, perfect straight lines. And, like, if you're
Yeah.
looking at it from a certain dimension, it's gotta have, like, the right...
Mhm.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to get the
Perspective.
perspective.
It's like a perspective, right. Yeah.
I never liked the practice in, like, elementary art class of working from one point perspective and, like, you gotta make the point and then, like, draw the lines out and, like, draw shapes in perspective.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It is hard.
I'm just a little guy. I'm
Yeah.
like 10 in this scenario.
Yeah.
I'm an adult now who still can't really do it. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's very... You gotta be strict with it.
Perspective is hard.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Do you ever do, like, characters, per se?
Oh, yes.
Word.
Some OCs.
Yeah. Yeah.
As, like, a middle schooler, oh, yeah.
Word. Would you care to share about any of them?
Well, like... Oh, God, no, it's cringe. Well,
That's okay.
I have one that's, like, kind of supposed to be me, and she's got, like, some, like, red bottom shoes that are, like, built into her legs. You know what I
Word.
mean?
Got the
And
permanent
then-
Louboutins.
Yeah, basically.
Sick.
And, like, she, like, split in half, and, like, that's, like, her thing.
Word. That reminds me of a certain drawing from
Yeah.
June 12th, 2020 from
Yeah.
your Instagram account where someone is splitting.
Yeah.
Is that the character?
It might be, like, kind of, like, loosely based.
Word.
Because
Sick.
I knew that I made this character, though, in, like, 2019, I'm pretty
Word,
sure.
okay.
Because it was, like, right after I broke up with my first boyfriend. And I was
Ooh.
like, I lost half of myself! And
Yeah, gotta express it.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
That's why she splits in half!
It's
Yeah.
a superpower.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're at about 22 minutes. You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, we can take a break.
Sweet. Alright, we're back. It is what it is. We're going to talk about a certain primate
Mm-hmm.
that you have written quite a bit about.
Oh, yeah.
And it was thrilling. I read the whole thing today. And I thought it was wonderful. But would
Yeah.
you care to talk about your experience with the Pata Zoo or Pata? How do you?
Oh, yeah. Pata.
Where-
So, at Hamlin, there's a study abroad
Mhm.
program. And,
With Suda?
with Suda. I went with
Oh,
Suda. I love Suda.
Oh! Legend.
And, I went with her to Thailand, and everybody got to, like, pick their own animals, except for I just got, like, this general, like, kind of poor treatment of animals in Thailand,
Interesting.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was a really awesome program. We got to work with, like, a real, like, New York Times reporter. which
Damn.
was, like,
Okay.
it was really good.
Sick.
Yeah. And, we went to Thailand, and then, so, like, for the first part of it, we stayed at this animal reserve that was, like, doing the right thing for animals. Because a lot of places in Thailand, they treat the animals really, really, really bad.
Word.
And it's like...
Would you say... How would you compare that treatment to American zoo treatment?
I mean, Como Zoo is pretty close.
Word. How did you first get introduced to cryptid research?
Well, from the gorillas at Como Zoo, my mom and my father would bring me to Como Zoo. Yeah, absolutely. And the gorillas, Don and Casey at that time.
Shout out to Como Zoo, but like, I hope those animals are doing okay.
But I think Como Zoo, at least in their primates area, has AC.
Word.
And, like, they're in shade.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At Pata Zoo, it was on the very top floor of a department store, which is insane.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Word.
And so we went there in the summer, and it was every, like, day was basically in the hundreds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real tropical shit.
Real tropical.
Yikes.
And a lot of the animals just kind of had, like, open air cages too that were just getting hit with direct sunlight.
Mhm.
And they would just be, like, on the ground, like, almost, like, unconscious. Like, it was,
Damn.
like, really, really rough.
Yeah.
And we had to go into these places and then, like, pretend to be, like, a tourist,
Mhm.
which was kind of hard.
Yeah.
And then
So like undercover investigating.
And
That's
it's like
crazy.
it was kind of hard to like hide your feelings about like how awful it was. You know what I mean? And so at this Pata Zoo, there was this lady was handing out food to like feed the animals, and you had to pay to like get the food. You know what I mean? But when I would be like going up to the cages, like you go up to like the primate cages, and they're like literally grabbing the bars, like shaking and like they want the food, which kind of was giving me like, oh, like I wonder if these animals have been fed, or if they're making people
Is this
pay.
how they eat?
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah. And then there was one animal, which was this orangutan, and I was like trying to like give it food, but then like it wasn't taking the food.
Word.
You know, which was like weird to me. I'm like, I bet like none of these animals have been fed. Like, why doesn't it want the food that I'm getting or giving it? And I'm like, it's probably just like super depressed because it spent like its whole life up on the top of the roof. And then I am trying to hand it the food, and then it like reaches out, and then I'm like literally like putting it in its hand, but then it like twists its hand and like kind of holds my hand. And then I was like scared initially though, because I'm like, I've seen those like videos.
Yeah, some crazy
like,
Instagram
do not
reels.
attempt doing that.
Shit.
But like they could reach their arms through, like and like take the food from you. Nobody's watching. Nobody like cares. And then I went
like
there,
nobody cares. Damn.
like, basically, like, alone with Suda, because we were just like, okay, like, let's just go. Actually, I had to go there right before we were getting on a plane to go to Phuket, which is, like, a little island place.
Word.
And it was so stressful, because I had, like, 45 minutes there to, like, get as much information as I could. I'm like, should I, like, secretly record in here? But, like, a lot of times they tell you to, like, not take pictures when you go into the zoos like that, which is like,
it's a little sus.
Right.
It's a lot sus.
Yeah. But. And then I was just like giving it the food and stuff, and then it just like held my hand, and then I started getting like real scared, and then like the picture that you can see on my website has like me like kind of holding its hand, but I was like kind of pulling it off because that thing was fucking strong, and then I started getting like fucking scared.
It's got ape strength.
It does, even though it's just like in there, but yeah.
So was the piece that's on your website an academic piece for that class, or was that like free writing about the experience?
It was an academic piece, but like the goal at the end of that thing was to try and get it published somewhere. A couple of the other people I went with did get theirs published.
Word, okay.
Mine did not. It happens.
That's why you make a website.
Yeah, I'm like, I published it.
Yeah. I'm a publisher. What's up?
Yeah.
Like 8 episodes of a podcast out here. Shit.
Yeah.
Do it DIY.
Yeah, but it was quite the experience. I'm really, really glad that I chose to do that. You should always study abroad if, like...
Word.
It's super fun.
My trip got canceled by COVID.
Where were you supposed to go?
I was gonna do the, like, food culture one.
Okay.
Which I think would have been tough.
Yeah.
But also really cool. But it was Greece. It was in Athens.
Were you gonna go with, Matisse?
I don't know.
Mazis?
Oh my god, John. Oh, king.
King. Oh my god, king.
If John took me to Greece, oh my god.
Game over. Game over.
Shout out to the professors at Hamlin University.
Yeah, they're so good.
Some.
Yeah, there's
some.
There's some.
Say John was,
some are better than others.
Certainly. There is a very fun, very Greek professor at the college we went to, and taking Greek and Roman history with him was awesome. And he's a blast.
He's a blast.
Imagine a very small man in an ascot.
Yeah.
Yelling at you in a thick Greek accent about Greece.
Yeah.
It's a fever dream.
He's like old, but then in some way, like, still attractive.
Yeah. He's like...
He's a good-looking old guy.
Past Silver Fox.
He is past Silver Fox now.
He's a bad grandpa. but
He's bad grandpa.
he's also like 5'7", but he's
He
also
is.
a great professor.
Yeah.
I hope he finds his way to this.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd remember me. I sat in the back of that class and doodled in my notebook. So
I sat in the
know?
front because it was my freshman year, and I was
Mhm.
like, I want him to like me. Or like,
Yeah.
you know, like, I'm going to get a good grade because I'm going to participate.
That's
But
me in all my major classes.
yeah.
In any other class. At Hamlin, or in school in general, how do you feel like academics, specifically the kind of like creative side of academics, how do you think that influence your artistic expression? It's like my experience with the video department, like, I feel like definitely helped me kind of get a better idea of how to express things that I thought were cool. And like, I think I had the eye for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was in the classroom and like learning the terminology and like the theory behind a lot of stuff that I felt like I could understand what I wanted out of video projects.
Yeah.
And I'm not ever putting my student films out.
You're not?
Unless I make a Patreon someday.
Oh.
But shout out to my freshman year student film starring Drew Carmen. You know him.
Really?
Yeah. Beautiful. It was lovely. Just like David Lynch shitfest. But like I feel like the classroom was a big thing for me as far as like learning how to kind of articulate myself creatively. Do you feel like in your academic experience you've had your personal art influenced?
Yeah, I think so. Did you know who Andrew Wykes was? Another amazing professor who's also short at Hamlin.
Kings.
Yeah. He taught the drawing classes and the painting, like oil painting. And I took both of those, and it was like super fun. And I think the like figure drawing and like drawing something that's just like in the room and like just like sitting there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Really good. Really calm. Super fun. But I think it helped me like get a better grasp of like drawing exactly what you see and then like not what you think you see. But I think that makes you less like kind of creative.
Word.
Because like you're kind of losing your like point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, forcing yourself into a distinct perspective.
Yeah, but it helps you like get a really good grasp of like the fundamentals. You know, like this is exactly how this is supposed to be. And then if I'm like drawing something from my head, like I'll remember like, oh, this shape is like this, and then like if it's from this angle, it looks like that. And yeah.
Sick. You have a couple pieces of animation on your website, and you mentioned that earlier. Would you care to talk about animation as an art form, or specifically the project Feminine Rage?
Yeah. So, as like a kid with my sister, we would make these stop motion claymation videos, and like you would just be taking little pictures, moving it like a tiny bit, and then like taking another picture, and it was like on my dad's old like DSLR camera. We'd be just like filling that thing up with just like pictures.
Slightly different pictures from the previous one.
He was okay with it though. He's like, you guys are being creative, so this is okay. And then I ever since then, like I think I had a good grasp for like how much you need to like move something, or like just to make it look like smoother, I guess. I think I had to like watch a lot of videos about like how like an animal is supposed to move, or like like I did one animation which is like arrows going into a heart, and then it's like you have to like shake the arrow as it like goes in. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like once it hits something, it's like shaking.
Word. Okay. Yeah.
And then like it starts going further and further, and then it goes like that kind of. I don't know how to describe that. Word. But
the animation is online at AnnikaRoeDesigns.com.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And then so I'm going to so what I did was I went on Procreate. They have this thing called Animation Assist, and, like, you draw, like, a cell, is what they call it, like, the image, and then you can, go to another layer, and then it shows, like, a super light version of the layer you had before that.
Okay.
And then so you can, like, draw it again, but, like, slightly different.
Yeah.
But then, like, you have, like, this reference video that you've been looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 And for some of it, I, like, took a video of myself, and then, like, I used that as, like, a reference, and, I would, like, I don't know. It's so tedious.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I would have to, like, go back and then just, like, completely trash something. And I was like, I spent 4 hours doing that, and I'm not even gonna use it.
Yeah.
And then,
Video is so fun to
What?
edit. Video is so fun to edit.
Is it?
Or, like, I don't know, making anything move.
Yeah,
This is a shit show.
it is.
And, like, time consuming.
Yeah.
Only
And then-
imagine frame by frame.
Oh, yeah, it sucks. But, like, it's kind of, it's rewarding once you get it, like,
Yeah.
all done. You're like, yeah, like, I did that.
The arrow and heart piece, how long would you reckon that took you?
Because you can duplicate layers, it wasn't too difficult. I think that thing took me, like, 2 hours. And something that is way easier to animate is if it's going fast.
Word,
Because you can draw less cells in between, but if it's something that's going, like, slowly, you have to, like, if you want to make it look smooth,
yeah.
you gotta, like, draw, like, a ton of things. And so, I don't know, my
Like
stuff's
some
just gonna
more
go
fine
fast.
movements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so the feminine rage thing, like, what I kind of was basing that off of is I had, like, during COVID, I was dating this guy, and it turned out that, like, for the, like, 6 months that I was seeing him, he had a girlfriend.
Oh,
And then
damn.
I figured it out after I'd broken up with
little
him.
detective work.
I did.
Shoot.
And then I texted, or, like, I found his girlfriend on social media. Well, she was his ex-girlfriend now, too, so he ended up just, we
Okay.
both left separately.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Sick.
Or, I think he broke up with her, and then I broke up with him, and then he was just alone, which was great karma for him.
Yeah.
And then I texted her.
2-0 real quick.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
And then I texted her, and I was like, hey, like, you don't know me, but, like, this thing, like, happened with your, like, old ex-boyfriend. And then, it turned out that, like, she actually lived in the same apartment building as him still.
Ooh.
And worked at the same, like, place as him, too. So, like, he fucked up.
Yeah, damn. I mean, like, reap what you sow.
Right, exactly. And then I was,
Don't be
like,
dumb.
getting him to admit it, like, really, really, this is my villain arc.
That's fine.
And then, like, I was, like, being, like, I was tricking him, and I was texting him, and then I got him to admit everything, and then I showed it to his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, and then she, like, ran down there, and, like, started, like, banging on his door, and, like, like, his whole life crumbled.
Chaos.
Yeah. That was, karma.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy anyway, so,
like,
like...
yeah, don't be shitty and people won't come to your apartment yelling because you
Right.
were being shitty.
Right.
It's not that hard.
So, like, that's kind of what that's about. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah. See, I have to write from personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry that happened.
It's fine.
But also, cheating anyways? Oh.
Yeah.
Cheating during COVID is crazy.
Right.
What? Dangerous,
Dangerous.
as well as disrespectful.
Right.
That being assumed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the hell? How do you have time?
And
How
so...
do you have the COVID test for this shit?
Actually, oh my god, T. So, he...
Was there COVID in this?
No. He told me he was going for, like, an internship thing the whole summer. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, we don't whatever. And then, it turns out that he was on vacation with his whole family, with his girlfriend.
Yo. What?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I'm glad you could turn this experience into
Into
like
better.
something productive
Yeah.
and make something creative out of some deep bullshit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right. It's kind of crazy.
Shit, how much would you say so feminine rage is tied to one specific experience? That seems
There's
like
a
a lot
things.
of experiences.
Yeah.
Like encapsulating a time. How much of your art would you say is about like a distinct part of life versus just like, this is what I'm feeling right now?
I think that all of it right now is just like about a very distinct point in my life, because I'm at that like part where I'm like becoming an adult, you know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I'm almost there now.
Yeah.
I know how to like cook basic things.
Yeah.
For dinner.
I think I'm surviving.
Yeah, I can get by.
Yeah.
And I think all of it right now is kind of just like about this chapter of my life, and like a lot of it is like really like bad relationships, like this project. And then
I mean, how many like hit albums are about
bad
and
relationships?
yeah. Yeah, something productive.
Exactly. And then actually, so I haven't like written like a lot of stuff that like isn't about like bad relationships, basically. Except for like a couple other ones. Like one's like about like some of my friends, like my sister. And I made a poem about my grandma who passed away last fall.
Word.
And then so there's a story behind it. So she died of cancer. Word.
Sorry, that's my that sounds so like not caring, but
No,
it
it's
is
okay.
my typical affirmative.
Word.
Word.
Okay.
For
And
sure.
then she was like kind of like bedridden for the last couple weeks of her life. And then I wanted to kind of like share something really personal with my grandma because she was bedridden. I was like, I want to know if I can like distract her for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And so then I started just like reading to her like some of the stuff I wrote and like kind of like showing her the pictures that I drew, so then she can kind of be like, oh, like you're like a human, you know,
Yeah.
like you like
Oh my
have
God, a
your
real
own
person?
thoughts. Yeah, like
Yeah.
oh, you did this.
Mhm.
And then I was reading them to her, and then she told me that I needed to be like more happy. She's like, you only write like sad things. Like, why are you doing that? Like,
That's some grandma shit.
that is some grandma shit.
Yeah.
But
Stop
like,
being sad.
yeah, that was like her advice.
Why are you choosing that?
Yeah, she's like, you're choosing this for yourself. Like, write
Yeah.
about something better. And so then I decided to like write her a poem, but then I was gonna make it like a happy one. And then I ended up reading it at her like funeral service thing. Yeah.
Kind of full circle.
Kind of full circle, right? So yeah, she got a poem.
Nice.
Yeah.
If we're coming up on time,
Mhm.
but if you had like, picture this scenario.
Mhm.
It is the modern day, and modern tools and equipment for creating art exists.
Mhm.
You can use Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
But culturally, it's the Renaissance. People are getting money wherever to do whatever piece of art they want.
Yeah.
What would you do with unlimited resources? Like, if scope was not an issue and you could, like, really go in on an art piece, what kind of format do you think you'd want it to be?
It'd probably be animation.
Word.
Because then I could incorporate, like, all of it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, I've been liking using Premiere Pro. I feel like
It is great.
there's, like, a timing thing with it, too. Which I kind of like. I'll be, like, sitting there and be like, now! Like, I'll hear, like, this song. And I'm like, now this happens. Like, something.
Yeah.
And then, I kind of like that. And then, like, it's like having it all come together and then almost like, I don't know, like making someone like have some sort of like emotion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, feel this. Or...
Elicit some response.
Yeah.
Work.
Uh-huh.
Sick.
Yeah, so that would be, yeah, I would do that. Whatever that is.
For the stuff you've written, do you ever do like narrative stuff, or is it more like, because I know you do a lot of poetry.
Yeah.
Not to say all poetry is abstract, but like compared to a longer narrative piece.
Yeah.
Would you have interest in doing that someday?
Kinda.
Wow.
For one of my first boyfriends, I as a gift I wrote for him like all of the first times that like I met him, and like from like my point of view and everything, and all the things I was thinking and like all this stuff, and then I like gave it to him as a gift, but then it kind of like comes together now as like it's still like 17-year-old writing.
Yeah.
Which is like...
It is what it is.
It is what it
There's
is.
some horrible movie scripts in my Google Drive.
Yeah?
Being 17.
Yeah, but, like, I think, like, some of that stuff, though, is, like, really fun. And, like, I like looking back on it, too, because, like, I don't know. It's, like, time travel. I think it is.
Yeah.
Because you get to, like, feel all the things that, like, you felt back then.
Yeah.
And, like... you instantly, like, when you read it, it kind of just, like, takes you back to that exact moment, and, like, you're like, oh, I remember this was happening at this time, and I'm like, oh, like, this was at this time, like, you were, like, taking these classes or these courses, and you had these friends, and, like, yeah, I don't know, breaks the space-time continuum.
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of looping back to journaling, too.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
You time traveled. We time traveled.
Oh my god, now we're now, and before we were at then.
God, dude, it really do be like that. Like, it is crazy looking back at, like, on my end. I did YouTube a couple times before this. No, senior year of high school and when I was like 10, and like those videos are like...
What's the channel? Is it still up?
Oh, they're private. They're private as hell. Unless I make a Patreon. But I'm probably not gonna make Patreon.
My sister...
Like, those are time capsules. Literally. It's video evidence of like what me and Al were doing when we were wrapping up high school and like entering college.
It's so
or, like,
fun.
Song demos. Even like hearing some of his stuff, and it's like summer 2020, we were in Al's parents' basement.
Yeah.
I remember this day, and it's like, it's locked to that piece. It's like, it's a memento.
It's a memento.
Yeah.
It's time travel.
It's fun. I like a record.
Huh?
I like a record of a thing.
Yeah.
If only I had finished a history major.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have liked history more.
Yeah,
if I gave it more than a year.
That's time travel.
Damn, maybe I'm interested in history. What the hell? Gonna drop your Instagram again, Squeege _cares_ and AnnikaRoeDesigns.com. Is there any closing statement or anything you would like to wrap up with?
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say like again and
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared. I don't know what to say. I don't know what insightful thing to say. But, like...
It's all good.
I don't know. Just, like...
Or would
do something. Create stuff. Keep a record of it. It's always fun to look back.
Yeah.
It's time travel.
It is time travel. Don't delete your old stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Save it on the cloud.
I don't know how that works, but Google Drive has 15 gig of free storage. You can save so much shit in there. Not that much, but like some. Well, sweet. I reckon we can call it there. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a fun one.
This was a fun one.
It's cool. I feel a lot of it so far has been musicians on the pod, and like it's fun to branch out and talk about different forms of art. But yeah, so thank you for being a part of that.
Thanks for having me.
This has been episode 8. Tune in next week at 10 a.m. for another episode. Every Friday, 10 a.m. But yeah, hope you found something either interesting, insightful, or informative. I didn't even almost forget this time. I'm getting really good at the outro. But yeah.
Yay!
Bye.
You are watching Ponder Media.